Welcome back everybody to a new video. I'm your host from Crypto Basket. Thank you all so much for watching today's video. Now before I get started, if you guys are new to my channel, make sure, like always, hit the subscribe button down below so you don't miss any of my uploads. With that being said, let's start today's video. Where is the most secure location to store your money after Circle verifies that some of the stablecoins supporting the assets are held in Silicon Valley Bank during the weekend? Let me mention this thing right off the bat, that this is an educational content, not a financial advice. And here we begin. To begin with, I want to mention that certain details provided in this video might not be precise of current scenario, as development is happening rapidly, and it is probable that some of the figures might change as this video becomes available. During the weekend, the USDC stablecoin's value deviated from its intended peg following Circle's confirmation that $3.3 billion of the assets supporting USDC were trapped with Silicon Valley Bank, which experienced financial difficulties last Friday. This amounts to approximately 8% of the total USDC supply. This caused panic among USDC holders as they questioned if the coin was still completely backed. If Circle had actually lost 8% of its reserve and SVB depositor had to suffer losses, it would signify that USDC was not fully backed. Consequently, USDC values dropped low as 89 cents. If you are curious about the cause of SVP failure, the brief response is that the lack insufficient funds to satisfy customers' withdrawal. The reason behind this was that the SVP had invested the majority of the customers' money in US government debt, which had depreciated in value due to the Federal Reserve continuous interest rates hike. What's concerning is that the numerous other US banks are in comparable predicament to SVP. Several of them invested their customers' fund in typically secure assets, but the worth of these secure assets plummeted considerably last year. So fortunately, US regulatory authorities eventually took action, and on Saturday last week, the Treasury, FDIC, and Fed released a joint statement stating that all the depositors at SVP would be completely compensated. So they would be able to access their funds and would not suffer any losses as a result of the bank's collapse. So this helped to alleviate some of the market's anxiety, but it's uncertain that how this scenario will unfold in long run. And deposit holders, including Circle, would have access to their funds on Monday morning, even if the depositors exceed the 250K FDIC insurance limit. So as a result, USDC is now fully backed and it has recovered significantly, nearly returning to its peg at the time of filming this video. However, the situation is still uncertain as to how it will pay out when US banks open on Monday. So it's wise to prepare for the potentially volatile market. And the joint statement from the Treasury, Fed, and FDIC also revealed that the Signature Bank would be closing its door as per the orders of its state chartered authority. Signature was one of the few remaining banks in the United States that provides services to the crypto industry, and its closure would have significant consequence for the sectors. And USDC depegging was partially due to the Circle's inability to process stablecoin redemptions over the week, which was a result of the Silvergate exchange network shutdown. And the network allowed crypto firms to transfer cash and crypto instantly 24/7 and 365 days of the year. Given the current banking condition, it raised the question of where to store one's cash. As previously mentioned, the BTC is the only safe place to store your money in crypto during these conditions. Although it's not an ideal situation or ideal solution, as its price is highly volatile. it keeps crashing in bank account might not be able to it might not be the best option either. So given the current banking conditions, to put it bluntly, the cash is the only truly safe haven, and any crypto that's not being actively traded should be kept in hard wallet, as per my opinion. The FDIC, which oversees financial institutions and provide deposits insurance, has taken over Silicon Valley Bank and its assets and deposits totaling around like $300 billion. So this is the largest bank failure since 2008. The cause of the Silicon Valley Bank collapse was combination of poor management and unfavorable market conditions. So the bank has actually invested heavily in long-term treasury bonds and mortgage-backed securities in order to generate high returns, but it did not, properly accounted for the risks of rising interest rates. So when it became necessary to sell some of these investments, the bank incurred these losses and depositors became anxious. Other banks are also experiencing significant losses, leading to the concerns that this could trigger a broader market sell-off. And the bank stocks behave differently than the actual performance of the banks themselves. Banks don't solely rely on selling shares in the stock market to get their capital. So they have other methods to ensure that they have enough cash in hand to operate and meet the need of depositors. So Silicon Valley Bank encountered an issue where depositors rushed to withdraw their money, which is a terrible situation. However, there is no indication that this is happening to other banks with the same, sovereignty. Although there are concerns about other banks that they aren't as severe. So this doesn't complicate the Federal Reserve's next step. And unless the market conditions become significantly worse, the turmoil affected bank stocks in mainly happening to regional banks, which have assets ranging from $50 billion to $250 billion. So the country's largest bank have different capital requirements, and it undergoes stress tests, so which result in more stability for the stocks. Although the stock price of large banks have declined slightly, there hasn't been any significant selling of the shares. In terms of job reports, predicting interest rates is challenging, and it's uncertain whether there will be a cap in the near future or so. So the Silicon Valley Bank made the mistake of betting too confidently on how quickly and high rates would rise and it end up losing. The Federal Reserve plans to keep raising interest rates to combat inflation, but there aren't enough signs yet that these rates increase are having any desired effect. And this is the reason for the stock market's recent downturn. And so I would recommend to stay tuned. And if you guys are new to my channel, make sure to hit that subscribe button, share this video around if you like the video, and I will see you guys in my next video.